impacted your overall mental ill health?
I think everyone that I've spoken to who has got any shape or form of mental health in their life, the more you work, the less you sleep. So I had quite a lot of sleep deprivation for about 11 and a half years, so I used to live on 3 hours a night. So the more I could work, the physically and more emotionally I was tired, that possibly I would get another half an hour in. So we used to run at the time 3 restaurants in the UK, quite big outfits, 115 hours a week, 7 days a week, which enabled me to sleep for 3.5 hours. And because you do it yourself, you expect everybody else to do it. And that's the cycle of life that you get into with mental health. Because you're doing it, you expect everyone else to live up to that standard, especially the higher up the ladder you go within our industry. It gets emotionally and physically, and we're passionate. It's a bit like you guys within news. You do it because it's passion. And most industries we do, and we work really hard because we love what we do. So the more we put in, but what we don't realise is what it affects our own mental health and our well-being. And Gordon Ramsay was a great one about the series he did last year with the heroin trial and the cocaine trial, and how much drugs are used within our industry to keep you awake. The old days it was how many Prozac can you take to keep you going. Then the chefs started getting more and more into different things to keep themselves awake because they wanted to succeed. And their thought of success was how many hours they put in. But unfortunately that has that awful side.
And then one day it catches up with you.
Yeah, absolutely. So as you know, David, and I'm quite open about it, after 4 suicide attempts, the last one where it was intervened with King's Lynn Police, where I found myself going to the multi-storey car park, even to the effect of writing "do not resuscitate" across my chest with a black marker pen. And that was a hard day, only but by my saving grace, which has been quite public. 13 people who have supported me in ways that I would never ever have thought they would have reached out. And the funny side of that is, I also do a sausage roll championship every year, and my sausage roll this year was called My Saving Grace. Because I was only able to attend and compete because I was alive because of those 13 people. And believe you me, I am only on this stage because of 13 people who stood my ground and stood by my side and said, "Mate, do you know what? You'll be all right."
Thanks, Charlie. Role to make sure that the likes of Indigo Swan, who have been chosen to be part of this panel for a reason, that we have 1,000 other businesses who've learned about these techniques and these projects that you can do.
Yeah, absolutely. So kind of the way that we work is that we are free. So first and foremost, I like kind of putting that out there to begin with, because everything always tastes better when it's free. And we're free for the Norfolk, any business in Norfolk essentially. And we get to know the business, we get to know our client, we get to understand what their needs are first and foremost. And when a business wants to engage with our service, we work with them and alongside them for around about a year, and even then it doesn't even need to say "see you later, thank you for everything." After a year has come and gone, we will still continue to work with you, and we can provide support in terms of helping clients in the organisation to come up with a mental well-being strategy, a policy, an initiative to push forward. One of the main reasons I'd probably say that organisations, kind of our main business acquisition really is in terms of when there's been, unfortunately, a mental health crisis within the workplace, and the workplace has panicked and thought, well, we don't want this to happen again, and we want to put proactive procedures, I guess, in place to stop it from happening. And we can go in and help with mental health first aid training, so I'm an instructor and a mental health first aider as well, and that is probably one of the top things that you can do in an organisation, because sometimes with your very already busy workloads, to then be in charge of well-being as well, sometimes well-being will then just fly out of the window, and you can understand it, you've got emails upon emails, and kind of well-being goes to the bottom of the inbox tray. But being able to distribute some mental health first aiders within your organisation alleviate the organisation's kind of pressure that it puts on itself that one person can be the hero to go around and fix everyone, and it's, you know, that's not sustainable. So having mental health first aiders within your workplace that are approachable, friendly, people who understand poor mental health and can support people when they're having a crisis, because, you know, we have in Norfolk one of the highest suicide rates in construction, the highest suicide rates in agriculture, and also in veterinary sectors as well. And it's that, first and foremost, mental health first aid, I think, is something that every company should make compulsory, just like physical first aid. The same with mental health first aid in terms of that. But yeah, policies, we can help with developing policies. I can provide action plans. I do a lot of going away and a lot of typing. I go away and I type a lot of organisational reports. We've got surveys as well that can kind of screenshot how the organisation is feeling. Everything is anonymous because we want everyone to be as open and as honest as they can be, because we want to be able to help to change a culture. And it's, you know, they're not going to change overnight if there's a really struggling culture within an organisation, but the more people that come on board with talking about it, just like you would a broken leg or a broken arm, you know, it's more than just a tick box. It's creating a movement, I guess, really. So, and it's free. I don't know if I mentioned that, it's free.